A very good afternoon to you, Rufus. Now looking at the NSE 20, really trending towards that 4,000 points mark, but still struggling to get there. Could we see the bourse breaking this level before the end of the week?
Yeah, there's a highly likelihood that the index will actually break that barrier before the close of this week, because we've seen a lot of momentum. Actually, the last 2 days, we entered the week with only 40 points away, the 4,000 level, and now we're only talking of 30. So I guess if the momentum still holds, then yes, we are likely to cross that level by the end of Friday.
We had a company out with results, KenGen, posting an 11% increase in a full-year pre-tax profit to $47.53 million. It also issued a dividend of about 60 cents. Is the profitability trend likely to continue for KenGen?
Yeah, sure. First of all, we have to mention the fact that they commissioned two major plants last year, actually the first half of last year, and right now they're contributing at least 40 megawatts to the current pool. So, and I think this has actually been a major boost to their profitability this year. So I guess going forward, as they commission more and more plants and adding up to the electricity pool, I guess the profitability trend is well secured.
We had Egaz also having additional shares being listed. Now, what does this mean for a company like Egaz when you look at the share price performance going forward?
Well, I think it's actually it's something that we can. We can always say that let investors be hopeful, because as you all know that more additional shares mean dilution, and that oftentimes actually affects the prices. So we all know that's what's gonna happen. But what's more important, more critical to long-term investors is the strategy that these guys are going to use. So I think as they come out and more clearly state out what they plan to do, if they're planning to rearrange the management as they have done last week, then I think these are just some of the positive steps that we want to see. But even more, we'd want to see a restructure of the whole business, because their current business is not really making money. We've seen that them hiring out some of their trucks to actually rivals. And they have been talking about going into real estate, and I think going forward, well, they look. We'd want to see more details, so that we can win the confidence of the investors. Sorry, the firm that is not actually Egaz, is actually Express Limited, which is a logistics firm. So that's just a point of correction.
All right, looking at a company that's going through a lot of restructuring is Olympus Capital. They've just recently changed their CEO, and they're offering to buy a subsidiary that's a Meta and a Plaid. Could this, now there's all these moves and restructuring, see a bit of a snap in the lagging performance that we have seen coming out of Olympus Capital?
Yeah, at last we're seeing a bit of movement and activity in that particular stock. It's one of the, shall I say, year-on-year laggards in the market. But we've seen a bit of positive activity. We've seen a new appointment of a CEO. The last CEO has been there for like 17 years, and at least the market needed a new guy with new ideas to take the company forward. But also, what's also equally important is the fact that they have announced a major announcement of wanting to acquire one of their subsidiaries that they currently own for about 51%, but they want to take it all up. So and when you look at that company, it's called Matters and Platt. It's an engineering firm. It's been doing quite well. There's a lot of engineering works in the country. So I guess going forward, the company is really geared to do well. We've also seen they have also issued an announcement of acquiring another subsidiary based in Botswana. Sorry, and I think going forward, when we see some of these moves, acquisitions, I think it's well for the company. So going forward, I think investors should kind of build interest on it and see what they can do.
All right, and looking at that, Olympus Capital ended up in a positive territory in today's trading session, up 8.57%. But on the other hand, we had East African Portland Cement falling back by a significant 9%. What led to that decline?
Well, first of all, you have to know that the company has been plagued with a lot of wrangles, particularly at the board level, and up to this point, we've not seen it really recover, because we're still seeing a lot of push and pull, particularly at the senior management level. And I think going forward, this is really discouraging investors. I mean, sorry, if this thing is going to go on for a while, then we are likely to see more and more investors getting discouraged and actually exiting that particular stock. So the performance that we saw today, it's not new, because it's been behaving like this for the last 6 months.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Rufus. That was Rufus Mwanyasi, investment analyst at Tsavo Securities.